Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, dear grade 12 students. Today's lesson is literature, the life of Bath's tale. Let me share the screen with you. As you know, this term we're doing A Tale of Two Cities. Sorry, this is the novel and uh, the Canterbury Tales, written by Geoffrey Chaucer. And we studied one of the tales over the past week or the past 2 weeks was the Partner's Tale, and this week we are going to study the life of Bath's tale. You know, there were 30 pilgrims, each one of them was supposed to tell 4 stories or 4 tales, 2 on their way to Canterbury Cathedral and 2 on their way back home. This is the wife of Bath's tale, one of the pilgrims' tales. Look here at the literary analysis. A frame story. This is a frame story. Brackets or frames another story or group of stories. But it is a story that brackets or has or frames within it another story or group of stories. In the Canterbury Tales, the frame story is the character's pilgrimage to Canterbury Cathedral described in the prologue. Within the frame story are the tales told by the characters on their journey. Here are some ways in which the frame story and the individual tales interact. Individual tales reflect the description of the storyteller's personalities and lives that you find in the frame story. A tale may itself contain a frame story and an inner tale. The wife of Bath's tale has such a structure. Within the wife of Bath's tale, there is another tale. The setting of the frame story, the time and place of its action may not match the settings of individual tales. For example, the events in the prologue occur around Chaucer's time, but the wife of Bath sets her frame story much earlier during the reign of King Arthur. Look for these types of interaction as you read the wife of Bath's tale. Here, she says here, hundreds of years ago, in days of yore. Here, context clue, unfamiliar word, your context clue means hundreds of years ago. Relation to word, similar in meaning. If days of yore took place hundreds of years ago, yore must mean time long past. Reading strategy here, skip it. Let's go to the vocabulary. Implored, vocabulary is important all the time, as we always say. Implored means begged earnestly. When you implore someone, you ask him or them again and again. Relates, relates a story, tells a story. Contemptuous, scornful. When you contempt someone. Bequeath, bequeath, hand down as an inheritance. When you leave some money after somebody dies and he or she leaves some money to her children, this money is called bequeath. Okay. Prowse, heroism, distinction, prowse. Esteemed means highly respected. My esteemed guests, held in high regard, esteemed. Rebuke, criticize strongly. The wife of Bath's tale, written by Geoffrey Chaucer, translated by Neville Coghill. This is the tale itself. Let's read it. Just maximize it a little bit in order for you to see it clearly. When good King Arthur ruled in ancient days, a king that every Briton loves to praise. This was a land brimful of fairy folk. At that time, a land, England was full of fairies. Okay, the elf queen and her countries or her courtiers joined and broke their elfin dance on many a green mead. Or so was the opinion once. I read hundreds of years ago in days of yore, days of the past, but no one now sees fairies anymore. Why? For now, what is the reason? For now, the saintly charity and prayer of holy friars seem to have purged the air. So there are no more fairies now because of the prayers of the religious people, which cleansed the air or cleared the air of the fairies. They search the countryside through field and stream, as thick as motes that speckle a sunbeam, blessing the halls, the chambers, kitchens, bowers, cities and boroughs, castles, courts and towers, thorps, barns and stables, outhouses and dairies. And that's the reason why there are no fairies. Every place is being purged from the fairies by the prayers of the friars or the religious people. Wherever there was one to walk an elf, today there walks the holy friar himself. In the past, in the places where elves used to walk, now friars or holy friars walk themselves. As evening falls or when the daylight springs, saying his matins and the morning prayers and his holy things, walking his limit around from town to town, women can now go safely up and down. The women can go safely up and down because of the safety they live in or they are enjoying now. By every bush or under every tree, there is no other incubus but he. So there is really no one else to hurt you, and he will do no more than take your virtue. Now it so happened, I began to say, long, long ago in good King Arthur's day, there was a knight, this is the beginning of her story after the introduction. There was a knight who was a lusty lover. He was interested in relations with the other jinn. Okay, one day as he came riding from the river, he saw a maiden walking all forlorn, alone. A maiden means a young lady, a girl ahead of him, alone as she was born. She was maybe not wearing any clothes, maybe she was alone. And of that maiden, in spite of all she said, by very force he took her maidenhead. He raped her. This act of violence made such a stir, so much petitioning, of the king for her that he condemned the knight to lose his head. All the people wanted the king to punish this raper, but and the king sentenced him to death by cutting his head. He should be beheaded. By course of law, he was as good as dead. It seems that then the statutes took that view. So it was as if he were dead. Here, motes means dust particles, thorpes, villages, matins, morning prayers, as we said. But that the queen and other ladies too implored, asked the king to exercise his grace. So ceaselessly, they asked him again and again. He gave the queen the case and granted her his life. He granted the queen the knight's life. And she could choose whether to show him mercy or refuse. She is the decision maker now. The queen returned him thanks with all her right or might, She thanked the king a lot for letting her or giving her the decision. And then she sent a summons to the knight. She sent for the knight and her convenience, at her convenience, to come to her and expressed her will. You stand, for such is the position still, in no way certain of your life, said she. Yet you shall live if you can answer me. If you can answer my question, if you can do what I tell you to do, you can live. If you can't, you will be beheaded. What is the thing? This is the question you need to answer. That women most desire. What is the thing? Remember this line. What is the thing that women most desire? Beware the axe and say as I require. Beware of the axe which will cut your head and ask or answer my question. If you can answer on the moment, though, if you can answer now, I will concede you this. I will give you this. You are to go at 12 months and a day, 1 year and a day, a full year and a day, to seek, to look for the answer and learn sufficient answer. I need a good answer. Then you shall return. Come after this time, I shall take gages from you to extort a surrender of your body to the court. Sad was the knight and sorrowfully sighed, but there all other choices were denied. He had no option. He had to look for the answer to such a question. What is the thing that women most desire? And in the end, he chose to go away and to return after a year and day. Armed with such answer as there might be sent to him by God, he took his leave and went. He knocked at every house, searched every place. Why, guys? To find the answer to the question, what is the thing women most desire? Yes, anywhere that offered hope of grace. He went everywhere, knocked at every door. What could it be that women wanted most? This is the question. But all the same, he never touched the coast, country or town in which there seemed to be any two people willing to agree. He received or he got hundreds and hundreds of answers. Not two are similar. To be off, widowed and remarried, said, this is an answer. Others again. And some that what most mattered was that we should be cassetted and flattered. Another person said, women need to be flattered and praised. Cassetted means pampered, okay? They need a husband or a gentleman who pampers them or pampers her. That's very near the truth, it seems to me. A man can win us, this is another answer, best with flattery. To dance attendance on us, make a fuss, ensnares us all, the best and worst of us. Some say the things we must desire are these. Freedom, some women say this, we need freedom to do exactly what we please, what we like, with no one to reprove, to blame our faults and lies, rather to have one call us good and wise. Truly, there is not a woman in 10 score, and 10 score means 200. A score is 20. 10, 20, or 10 20s is 200, who has a fault. And someone rubs the sore, but she will kick if what he says is true. You try it out and you will find so too. However vicious we may be within, we like to be thought wise and void of sin. This is another answer. Others assert we women find it sweet when we are thought dependable, discreet, wise, careful, and secret. Firm of purpose and controlled, never betraying things that we are told. We keep the secrets, all the secrets we are told. But that's not worth the handle of a rake. Women conceal a thing. For heaven's sake, remember Midas. This is the wife of Bath, interrupting. Will you hear the tale? What is Midas' story in mythology? King Midas had the magic touch that turned everything to gold. Here, Chaucer makes reference to Ovid's metamorphoses. Okay, will you hear the tale? What is the tale? Among some other little things, now stale, Ovid relates that under his long hair, and Ovid tells that under his long hair, the unhappy Midas grew a splendid pair of ass's ears. As subtly as he might, he kept his foul deformity from sight. He had ears that looked like donkey's ears. An ass is a female donkey. Okay? He kept it out of sight, save for his wife, except for his wife. He showed his donkey ears to his wife. There was not one that knew. He loved her best and trusted in her too. He begged her not to tell a living creature. This is an answer from the wife of Bath to the answer to the question that women keep secrets. She is telling this story to show that women don't keep secrets. Okay, the man showed his donkey ears to his wife and asked her not to tell anyone that he possessed so horrible a feature. Not to tell anyone that he possessed these horrible ears. And she swore, the pastel swear, were all the world to win, she would not do such villainy and sin. She wouldn't tell anyone. As saddle her husband with so foul a name, besides to speak would be to share the shame. Nevertheless, she thought she would have died keeping this secret bottled up inside. It seemed to swell her heart, and she, no doubt, thought it was on the point of bursting out. Fearing to speak, she was afraid she was bursting with this secret, like a pregnant woman. She wants to give birth to this secret. Fearing to speak of it to woman or man, down to a reedy marsh she quickly ran. She ran to a marsh, a place full of trees and water, and reached the sedge. Her heart was all on fire, and as bittern bumbles in the mire, bittern small wading bird. She told the secret maybe to this, or broke the secret to this bittern, to this bird. She whispered to the water near the ground, betray me not, she said to the water. Don't betray me, O water, with thy sound, with your sound. To thee alone I tell it. I break the secret of my husband to you only. It appears my husband has a pair of ass's ears. She went and told the water of the secret. My heart's well again. The secret's out. Alhamdulillah, the secret's out. I feel okay now. I could no longer keep it. Not a doubt. I couldn't keep it. She broke the secret to the water. And so this is a proof that women can't keep secrets. This is a reply from the wife of Bath to the person who told the knight that women can keep secrets. And so you see, although we may hold fast a little while, it must come out at last. Yes, at the beginning we can keep a secret, okay, but at last it must come out. We hear the speaker is the wife of Bath. We can't keep secrets. As for Midas, well, read of it for his story. He will tell, and this is the story I have just told you, tells you that. This night that I am telling you about, let's go back to the night, perceived at last he never would find out what it would be that women love the best. He discovered that he can't find a good answer to the question. Faint was the soul within his sorrowful breast. He felt unhappy. As home he went, he dared no longer stay. His year was up, and now it was the day to go back to the queen and answer the question. As he rode home in a dejected mood, suddenly at the margin of a wood, he saw a dance upon the leafy floor of 24 ladies. 24 ladies were dancing, nay, and more, maybe more. Eagerly he approached them in hope to learn some words of wisdom ere he should return. Maybe they have this large number of women, maybe they have an answer. But lo, before he came to where they were, dancers and dance all vanished into air. All of them disappeared suddenly. There wasn't a living creature to be seen. No one was there save except for one old woman crouched upon the green. She was lying on the green or sitting on the green, a fowler looking creature, I suppose. She didn't look very beautiful, could scarcely be imagined. She arose and said, Sir Knight, there is no way on from here. Tell me what you are looking for, my dear. For a pre-adventure that were best for you, we old women know a thing or two. What do you want? You can ask me. I will tell you. Dear mother, he said. Dear mother, said the knight, alack the day, I am as good as dead if I can say. I will die soon. What thing it is that women most desire? What is the thing women most desire? If you could tell me, I would pay your hire. I would give you some money or I would repay you. Give me your hand, she said, and swear to do whatever I shall next require of you. Give me your hand and swear to do whatever I shall ask you later. If so to do should lie within your might, and you shall know the answer before night. Upon my honor, he said, he answered, I agree. Okay, he agreed to give her whatever she asked him to do. Thank you very much. I'll end the video here and see you tomorrow, inshallah, in another video.